if I pop behind here to check cameras, hopefully it's not too distracting. All the cameras are still going.
Bunch of dude with cowboy hats on in the crowd. I'm like, I don't know, they're gonna like my shit.
Yeah,
but I'm like, they loved it. They loved it. Yeah.
You know how you like have your regular stride when you're running a marathon or when you're running for like super far?
Absolutely.
You know? So Shala was inspired by a Big Crit lyric. He's a Mississippi rapper. And he has a line, pimping is a blood sport, I kick it like a Kumite. And then we all know blood sport from the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Kumite, Kumite.
When did you first know you wanted to play bass guitar?
Oh, it's kind of a last resort, to be honest. I mean, no one really starts it. No, I'm just kidding. I started playing guitar around 12, right?
This is a good group here. We got Kumite.
Yeah.
All right.
Kumite.
Give a here. Pretend there's a bunch of people clapping. Woo-wee!
Thank you.
Hell yeah! First of all, thanks for coming out. Second thing, if I pop behind here to check cameras, hopefully it's not too distracting, but I'm a one-man operation at this point, so I just want to make sure all the cameras are still going. I got a new SD card, I got new cables, I got a new weed pen. Life is good.
Oh, nice.
Right.
So let's go down the line, and let's start with Dan, was it?
That's right.
Oh, thank God. All right. I hate when I've met you and got your name 4 times and forgot it. But
It's okay. It's a long one. So
yeah, Dan is tough, especially when he's a bass player. I feel like
well, that was what I was going to say. I play bass, so you just...
there you go. I
You just
stole
said
your
everything
valley.
for
Yeah.
me.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and you give us a rundown. Let's go. We got
Shoot, I've been in band with these guys for a few years now. What is it, 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been playing
right
music
on.
with all these guys for even longer than that.
okay.
And,
So Dan bass. Who we got next to you?
yeah.
Gianni
on drums. What's up, man? Thanks for coming out. The BandHouse Podcast appreciates it.
Thanks, man.
Down the line one more time.
Shala, also known as Prophecy. You can call me either. Most
Right
people
on.
call me Shala. But yeah, MC, frontman, Kumite. Been playing with these guys for many, many of years. Known them through many different ventures. So yeah, it's dope to be on another one with them. Yeah.
And last but not least, my man on the contacts.
Kyle.
Yeah, I've been chatting with you via email and text and everything. You're the
Yes,
guitar
sir.
player then?
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Yeah, same. I've been playing with these guys for since about 2013, I think, when I started playing. And they used to have another band called Irakanji, Legion of Brass. So I played with them in that as well. Johnny, you were in that band too, right? For a little bit.
There was a jam called Kumite that we used to do.
Oh, that's right.
That was like the
that's
first
tight.
iteration of this band. It was like a Sunday thing, right?
Yeah, I did. I hosted. It was once a month at the Columbia City Theater, and I hosted a live jam. Right, like there's always open mics and shit like that.
Yeah,
going
yeah,
around,
yeah.
And I wanted to have like a live jam.
Yeah.
You know, like with you and your friends come through. And in Columbia City, there's a lot of talent that just randomly walks with their instrument around. So we would just pull a crowd of people in, and I'd freestyle my fucking heart out.
Dude,
Just
hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah, for hours, like about 3 to 4 hours just playing. It was really cool.
So let's take it back for the people on the where are you guys from and what kind of music do you play then? We were alluding to it with some stuff there, but
we're all just go down the line, get it down.
y'all from over the place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kirkland.
Okay, Kirkland.
What do you play, man?
Oh, everything, hip hop, rock, basically all the stuff that these
Well,
guys
what kind of
play.
music as a band, I should say? What's like the genre you'd have to
shit.
use to market yourself?
I would say the easiest way to do it is psychedelic rock and roll with underground style hip hop.
Tight.
Yeah.
That's tight. I've recently just got it. It sounds super embarrassing, but recently got into underground, like 90s hip hop.
Yeah.
Because I'm a guy who's not going to start he's going to start at the beginning.
Yeah,
Like I'm
exactly.
learning jazz. I'm not starting on Miles Davis. I went all the way back,
Yeah.
Charlie Parker, Barry Harris. Like I'm learning it from the beginning. So now,
Hell yeah.
so I'm listening to Tupac. I'm listening to NWA. I'm listening to all this stuff. And the sampling was totally, not to talk about my shit the whole time, but I'd love to hear more about it.
Oh,
and
yeah, definitely.
more of how it evolves and how you use it in your music in 2023. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, it was always about content, you know. In the 90s, all MCs had their own voice, right? Everybody had their own style.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to do their own damn thing. So, like, even when you look at Bone Thugs and Harmony, we're all like, like you can individually break down each of their styles, right? Nowadays, it's more bandwagon style, you know? When you see something that works, you gravitate towards that and you try to recreate it. And that's what I try to steer from. And I think we all try to steer from that in our style. And we just try to be original to ourselves. We try to bring something, I guess, honest
forward,
and then try to mold it together until shit starts.
Well,
to
how do you
settle
pull
and
that
fit.
off? That sounds good, but how do you how do you
A lot of
actualize
jamming,
it?
I guess.
Well,
Right, you play a lot of music.
I just play whatever I want. We all do, and it just kind of works.
When we first
Yeah.
formed this band, we had just gotten out of the other band, Irakanji, and it had been probably like 2 years since we played music together. And one time, him and I were at a music festival, and we were like chilling in the tent and just just blasted. And Shaw was just like, I think we should start another band. And I was like, man, I've been saying that too. And then we ran it by Dan, and Dan was in. And we ran it by Gianni, and John was in. So, but what happened is we started in like summer of 2018. We had this spot that we rented down in Fremont. Thank you, Farad.
Far right.
And so we started playing and playing,
Pride, right?
and we like I could speak for me and Dave. We didn't really like our songs that much, but we ended up playing that New Year's show, remember? And it was pretty cool. And then we were like, we practiced for like another year, and we're like, all right, we're about to get it. We have a show scheduled for March like 18th, and it was
No, March 8th.
March 8th.
Yeah, because it was like almost a week right before COVID hit.
Yeah, and then COVID hit, and boom,
Dude.
everything shut down.
That's a gnarly one. That's a
And
pretty
Dan
good one.
was like the wizard over here.
Yeah.
He was the one, he's like, I'm not doing the show. We're like, come on, Dan, quit
Yeah.
being a pussy. I'm not doing the show, man. It's coming. It's going to be bad, man. Shit's going
Dude.
down. And we're
Yeah,
like,
That's me.
Yeah.
I was
damn
that.
it,
I'd be
Dan.
that guy.
I was
said,
in
"What
close
do you
contact
know?"
with some people that were in close contact with people who had COVID, so I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere.
He was right. And I
I'll
was like,
always give that
I
to him.
remember texting him back. I'm like, dude, you're the fucking wizard. I will never doubt you again, whatever you have.
I was like
feeling.
that too, but I'm always like that with everything. I'm
Yeah.
super like, so it was just a random, I told you all, told you we shouldn't have been going.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it anyway.
I'd
I
eat
don't
my
know.
fucking words.
I'm an introvert, like to a T, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Extrovert.
relate to that introvert extrovert scale?
Oh, yeah. I'm an extrovert. I
Yeah.
go crazy when I'm by myself.
That's good to have extrovert at the
My
front.
wife, she's like, get the fuck out the house.
Yeah. You have too much
Do
extra.
something.
You have extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have tendencies. Obviously, I play music. I go out and sing and all that stuff, and I enjoy it. But it's more like the endorphins come after the gig when I'm driving home and I'm eating the free food I just got at the gig, and I know I'm about to watch some TV by myself and it's gonna be quiet. That's honestly like I'll play a good show, but I mean, a good hamburger afterwards, dude. What?
Post show burger, it's
yeah.
should never be underestimated.
Now I got to recalibrate my values, but
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, tell us about your gigs, man. What are you guys doing currently at this stage in the band?
We have Slims coming up. Slims Last Chance.
Oh yeah, this will be 2 weeks from now, by the way.
Yeah.
Just keep it heads
The
up.
25th
Yep.
of August. That's going to be interesting. The bands we're playing with are out there, but they're dope.
Yeah.
It's like hardcore, it's like hardcore rock mixed with hardcore hip hop.
That sounds sick.
So it's like motherfucking
Soul,
ass clap, drop,
rock.
drop. But like
Honey Badger.
Oh, and they do screaming too.
Name
Yeah,
the
it's just-
Hurricane.
All right.
Yeah.
Hillside 77.
Well, that's
to name
that's,
a few.
No, that's previous shows.
Well, who are we doing this show?
This show we're doing. I actually got to look up the band names. I honestly don't remember off the top.
Okay.
This is a different. And then right after that we have the Jelly Jam show, which which is basically like a Friends festival that he's throwing. So I think he has like
Monica
Summers-
and Chandler and Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd be there for sure.
Down.
Ross can't come though.
Yeah.
Fuck Ross,
Fuck
man.
Ross.
For sure. Team Fuck Ross. Yeah.
But yeah, there's gonna be started at 12 o'clock, and then I think we're gonna be headlining at 11 at night. So it's
Damn.
a full fucking day.
Yeah.
I think he said 15 bands. So
Yeah.
And where's that again?
Auburn. It's in
Auburn.
Black Diamond.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so-
it's on a friend's parent property, it's like sitting on like 5 acres or
It's,
something like
it's a bunch.
that.
Yeah.
Dude,
so-
that's pretty good. It's hard to know all the stuff off the top of your head. Like
Yeah,
every time it's
man.
like, when's your next gig? I'm like, I can't think of one. I have 13 booked. Can't think of one.
No, I was actually studying before I came here. I was
That's
like,
smart.
Yeah,
That's a smart
yeah.
move. Yeah, yeah.
Plug it right, Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got a few gigs coming up too. I mean, after that we got a gig in September. What would that be? The 10th, you said, at Substation in Seattle.
Yes, that's actually a hip hop venue. Not venue, but a hip hop show.
Tight.
And we normally get booked with like rock
Goth
bands,
shows.
like rock shows. So it's cool because we stand out,
Yeah.
but it's hard to cling on to an audience,
I see. Yeah,
to
yeah.
form that. So it's going to be nice to go into the hip hop scene and just rip
Show
it
me
apart.
you're serious about hip hop. You're not just rock. You're also hip hop.
They're gonna feel something.
That's the best thing ever, dude. I love like I was talking about jazz earlier. I would love to just like I can't do it with that genre yet. But it, like a blues jam, for example, a little bit less knowledge to study as far as chord theory and all that stuff.
Sure.
But showing up and ripping a blues in front of like rock guys or in front of real blues guys, and it's like nothing better. So like I liken it to something like that. Now you said you mostly get booked with rock bands. So do you have singing choruses? Do you sing a lot, or is it mostly?
I guess they get my style of hip hop's a lot different, and that I guess that that's tailed on to what we said earlier. Like just I was trying to find my style, and then listening to the way he plays guitar, the way he plays drums, the way he plays bass, my style evolves out of that. You know, so it's very organic in that sense. It's poetic, it's raw, it's fast, it's sometimes a little bit slower, but it's different. It's very different, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to learn more about you and dive deeper into what made you become a musician. But we end on that, so we'll go down the line at the very end, and we'll kind of go, I have a bunch of cool little questions. And I guess it's not really interview style. It's more just chilling, whatever I think of on the spot. Speaking of jazz, I improvise, baby. I like that, but I like when I improvise correctly and hit the correct notes. And I'm better at jazz than I am at speaking. But here we are on a podcast.
Hell yeah.
We started the podcast over COVID. That was kind of like, or a year after it, like what's something we could do? Just me and my buddy getting together, shooting the shit. That's kind of how it started. And then COVID likened up. I'm like, let's get some bands out here. I've said it a million times. I'm notorious for not going out. I know there's people that can relate, and some people think I'm shitty for it. It's like, it's not that. I think it's introvert mixed with ADHD and other learning disabilities and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't enjoy it. And I'm in my 30s now, so I know what I like.
Yeah.
But I do like having people over and chilling at my house. So I'm like, boom, let's put the two together.
I mean, that's the best scenario. I mean, that's why I really want to own a venue. So
because
I'll live upstairs.
That would be sick. We're gonna do more venue type things coming up. Yeah. Where this will feel like we'll set up. It'll take its time and set up. But I want to do where we have like couldn't be that many people, but 15 people or something in here, and you guys perform, and then that way at the end there's like some people clapping.
Hell yeah!
Like, that's all we need is that some people clapping.
I
tell you exactly because like performing for me is one thing.
Yeah,
you guys will be performing. I'll be doing the key, looking away and shit. But like it would be have eyes on you. You'd have live energy, and I think that would make the shows better.
Honestly, smaller shows when they're intimate, you can experiment a little bit more. You can be a little bit more out there, especially you kind of know the people and you know the music lovers. They're there for the experience. It makes it so much fucking easier to do your thing.
Yeah.
Rather than like, okay, I'm kind of thrown on this bill. There's some tight asses. I gotta convince them.
Do you guys know what song you're gonna play here?
Yeah, yes,
definitely. Yeah, we have two or three prepared.
Well, anyone watching and you want to hear it, click right here and go listen to it for context during the podcast. You can give it a quick listen.
That way.
It usually comes out a few days after the podcast, but it depends on how much editing I get done. I love editing too.
Yeah.
Just another thing. It's like my favorite things are practicing guitar at home and editing at home alone.
Edit yourself, make you like the most epic guitar solo ever.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't do it so much anymore, but 20 takes, 30 takes, 40 takes, trying to perfect the solo. I like writing music that way, but like if you're doing the same exact phrase over and over, especially with vocals, I find if it's not getting better after take 7 or 2 or maybe 1, really.
I've been around producers right there. It's like, take 32, do it again. I'm like,
it's not going to be better. It's going to be exactly the same.
I just play everything once and then edit the shit out of it. And he's like,
that's kind of where I was going with that. I'm like,
shift pen and everything. Yeah, that's what I do.
I have integrity enough. I don't use tune. I'll hang my hat on that.
Yeah.
I've never used Melodyne. I don't even know how to use it. Yeah. I say that as a humble brag and also not
never
a humble
heard
brag.
of him.
I've never heard of the guy, but
there's only one song of mine that's been out of tune. God damn you, Jorge.
Don't. Again, I was saying it more, joking, because you got to sometimes. Sometimes it needs that shine, needs that polish. But
No, he did a good job.
Yeah,
with it. And I was drunk. I went in there. He's like, I got this beat, man. You should rap over it. So I just started vibing to it. And like the very first thing I recorded, he's like, "That's it."
I appreciate that.
Can I do it again? He's like, "That's it."
No, that's a good
producer. Yeah, I mean, he wrote the
that's the opposite of what we were just saying.
Right. Yeah,
he wrote
like it was meant for auto-tune.
He really rolled the dice on that one. I think.
I love it. I love that though. Doing it like a first take. I've tried recreating takes before.
Yeah.
And like maybe with riffs you can get away with it, but like with like a guitar solo or a vocal performance, you can't like exactly imitate it. You can go for it again, and hopefully some other magical thing will happen.
Yeah,
but it's hard to
energy,
exact.
right?
Yeah. So that's cool that you do that. And then I'm a fan of autotune and stuff for that. I'm only a stickler when it comes to if I go to see like Iron Maiden or Judas Priest or Celine Dion or anyone who's known for singing.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to hear fake.
You see all those people?
No, but I know that they're all bomb ass.
It's like,
Let's see, who have I seen? Like Queensryche I've seen live, and I love hearing, is he going to hit the notes? Oh, he's close. He did it. Oh, he's tired. You can hear he's tired, but he's running around the stage. It's like, that's
like
what
that.
I find to be fun.
I respect artists for that. If I see an artist on stage rocking it, then all of a sudden they're like, and they're still singing, and they get back on the track. I'm like, what the fuck was that, man? Come on. Like, I pride myself on not having any backing lyrics, not having a hype man, because I've been a hype man in a group, and I know the effort that you have to put in. I know the space you can fill for those breaths. Yeah. And to be able to have voice control, conscious of like how much you move versus where you're on stage versus what part of the song. You'll be very fucking conscious of that, right?
Like
otherwise you run out of breath.
How much are you gonna like on your singing? How much are you going to sacrifice for stage presence and vice versa? Yeah, because you can't be 100 on both sometimes. Yeah, like if you're down here, you're not filling your lungs right. Yeah, you ain't gonna sing. It's not gonna be as good as if you were standing up tall.
You'll see a big difference between our first Kumite show where I'm just like fuck it, Dragon Ball Z, like. And then our last shows, I've been more like, okay, let me focus on intensifying my lyrics, finding my light on the stage, knowing when to move, knowing when to slow the fuck down, and knowing when to jump into the crowd and go crazy.
I was just gonna say, but these motherfuckers jump into a crowd and just fucking rap and just get it.
Dude, yeah, tell me about that.
People like, yeah.
Give me a specific. Give me the most recent time.
My last one was Central. Yeah. We played after a fucking, what was that?
It was a Seattle Supercross event. Yeah, it was a major, people were down from Canada.
Dude with cowboy hats on in the crowd. I'm like, I don't know, they don't like my shit. Yeah, well, I'm like, fuck that. They loved it.
They loved it. Packed, dude. There was a line out the door.
So you were really taking it
fucking
Oh my God, it was different.
We may have found the dice.
Was that the same show as Honey Badger and Name the Hurricane? Because I remember we saw them at the Central.
Well, no.
That was the one after that show.
Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah. We played at that show, but didn't we play with Jake Flat's band? Because he was like, you guys fucking looked down on the crowd.
No, Ninny's right. Ninny's right. Yeah, because I remember sitting next to the calendar and waiting for him to go on, and B's parents being in town. My homie just got married. My best friend got married a day before. His parents were flying in town. So like it was, I just wanted to make sure the event was dope. So
yeah, for real, that's super cool.
Yeah, and it ended up being pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's packed, man. It was packed.
Shout out to Central Saloon.
Yeah, shout out to Central.
Well, yeah. Go back to how did you win over the Cowboys?
The intensity, you know, like when I don't care who you are in a crowd, if you're playing music and you can see the individuals are good at what they do. And the person in the middle is devoted to what he's doing and how he's doing and energy he's putting into it. You're just going to feel it. You just can't help it.
Do you scream? Like
fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say rapping to some people is very similar to like screaming. It's like they got to find the sick guitar first or the drums or like that's kind of how I started too. I'm like, listen to the Lamb of God, listen to these drums. And then eventually that became my favorite thing ever because whatever, art, music, awesomeness, rage, intensity.
Yeah, I felt it when I used to work at a venue called Chop Suey, right? When I first came to Seattle. Worked there for many years, ended up being the head of security, and I would just like sit there and just watch the bands perform. And anything from hardcore, whatever genre it was, if they were good, I always try to pull one thing from that. And there was something about hardcore music where they had those break like
oh, I love it. I love
it. And then you like, even if you don't like that music at all, when that shit breaks, you're just sitting over there taking IDs like, motherfucker would. You can't help to get into it. And I was like, all right, that's something that I need to take note into. So I try to mix a little bit of that, not that hardcore, mix a little bit of that aggression, that growl, and then also know how to break it down and get melodic and soft again. So being conscious of that.
You're running a marathon on stage.
Yeah. I come soaked when I'm done. Yeah.
Do you athlete sports growing
Used
up?
to, yeah.
What
a lot
sports?
of soccer. That was Nigerian.
Check.
So,
there it is.
So kick, scoop.
Soccer is like a perfect analogy for singing too, because it's the sport that like if you have a soccer body, you could play all the other sports pretty decent enough.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the way you sing, probably all the things you have. It stems from that one whatever.
And
you want to call
this
it.
guy keeps me in shape too. He comes over, we hit pads together and shit like that.
Oh, no shit.
And he'll go forever. He's like I call him the gazelle because he can just.
In summer school, they called me Forrest Gump.
He's got the man of many
I got
nicknames.
stamina, baby.
That's crazy.
But
dude.
sometimes, like, when you're talking about, like, gassing out on stage, too, like, there's some songs I want in the beginning of the set list, because if it's at the end, it's like I ran a marathon, and now I'm about to max out on a song.
So how do you pick?
I can't do it, but the one in particular is Brimstone, because it has, like, a fast part that, like, I'm not really used to doing.
You can bring the mic up just a little bit, too.
I'm not used to really doing that type of drumming, and it's
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah.
And so if I know I can feel it, there's just like I check the internals and it's just like 50% cannot perform, and I was like, no! And I like have to do something else that's like similar to it, but
Right.
like that kind of improvisation, just
That's
like when you're getting gassed out like that, like there's other stuff, and we all find a way to just like hop back on what we're doing and just like kind of read it like what the beat's doing, and like they're always good at like, because I can hop back on it, but then they're really good at listening to me and just like, because we've been playing for so long.
Right.
It's I'm slowly drifting away.
It's fine. It's fine. It adds a little echo, and that's not unlistenable. It actually,
Right on.
I've got a good, decent enough setup or whatever. With
I bet.
my
This
man-made
is nice.
pad. I bought that fabric from Joanne's software. The old ladies roasted us, dude.
Oh,
They're like, "Hey,
yeah.
are you gonna sew it or are you gonna staple it?" And the other lady goes, "They're gonna staple it." And I was like, "That's fucked up." But yeah, where we get the staples. Anyway, yeah, it sounds good in here. You don't have to. It's all good with the mic. But where do you put? Like, let's say you have a song where it's got a sick fill and you really want to crush the fill, but it's not a song one. You know what I mean?
Oh, man,
or it's not
like-
in the middle of the set. Like,
Mostly, I mean, I don't know. Like most fills are like in songs that are like kind of easy to do, or like they're like kind of relaxing for me, because like
sure.
you know how you like have your regular stride when you're running a marathon or
Sure.
when you're running for like super far.
Absolutely.
You know,
I was like, yeah, totally.
running a marathon. Yeah,
I like
everybody does
metaphors.
it. I know.
I've
we
heard
all
of
do it. We're all
marathons.
made to do it.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
But but yeah, man, you can do a fill. It's just like a certain, like if you're doing it for like a whole verse or like a whole chorus, it's
That's
just
the
like
problem. Yeah, I've never done drums a whole set. I play a lot of drums. I love casually, recreationally playing drums.
yeah.
You get sweaty. You get gnarly.
So sweaty.
But I've never got it to that level that I have like singing and guitar, where I have to look at my set list not only on like what the people are gonna want to hear, and what key and all that bullshit that we've probably probably all of us over obsessed about.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, am I gonna be able to perform these two next to each other? Even though they go good, I can't do it, so I got to move some stuff around, blah, blah, blah. But I've never gotten to that level with drums, and I feel like it would be its own marathon, if you will.
It really doesn't cover the set list. They're like, we just like come up with this, like, what's gonna say, like, who we're gonna play with this time, jazzy or rocky or
Yeah.
hip hoppy.
Do all originals?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And 30-minute sets or like hours-long
Usually like
sets?
an hour.
45
Yeah.
minutes, hour. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're starting to build a lot. We actually have a lot of songs on the back burner.
Right on.
So we have like a whole genre shift, because of one thing that we've always done is we match the feeling of what's created. When one of them plays something dope and we're like, oh shit, okay, dude, let's go to that. And then all of a sudden it starts getting really jazzy. It's like we're gonna match that feeling and that vibe
Right,
and
right.
try to pull elements of what we do best, you know?
Yeah, and I think like the more you listen to our stuff, like the more when we release stuff, you'll find that each song has its own personality. Like he said, like we'll have
That's
a song
cool.
that's like kind of like, you know, the one on Spotify, it's like a country like western song, right?
Right.
And we just made that song. We're like, we're gonna do it like this, and then we have another song that we're gonna play tonight. It's more like rocky, kind of fucking go off the rails type stuff. And we just give each song its own thing. We don't try to sound like one thing.
Those are the things, too. Rock, country, and rap.
Yeah.
Are there other things that we're forgetting about?
Well, we
R&B,
yeah,
reggae.
we do some reggae stuff. Yeah,
keep it-
that's for sure.
Let's say rap comes from R&B. Is that a true thing? Has
Good.
rap just come out of nowhere, really?
Rap was one
From
of
the
those.
same
like
family.
the first thing I would imagine, like
They
prehistoric.
always-
like,
they
it's
always-
like just, you know.
Like, okay, so I've researched this a lot, right?
Hell
and
yeah.
one of the theories is rap
love this
came
stuff.
from the Chatman, the Jamaicans in Jamaica, first one to build the sound system, bring the speakers around. The whole point was to like just shout out who's DJing, drink specials, who was on the dance floor, because there was all these stunners around. You know, people would come with their own clicks, their own dance move, so they would do this. And Big Kool Herc he was the first one to bring DJing into America. So he was Jamaican. So every summer he'd go to Jamaica, see these people doing these things, and so he'd throw parties. And then, you know, there would be MCs like KRS-One, who was too little to go to the party. So he'd be looking in the windows as Kool Herc would be DJing, throwing it. And then his parties became too big, so they went out to the ballpark. They went to community centers. And then eventually, once Grandmaster Flash got on, which was the next generation coming up, he was an electrician. He thought differently. So he's the one that kind of invented the crossfader. Like, okay, we can keep this beat going forever if we have another identical beat and a different time signature right behind it. And he just... You know, he just thought of the whole, and that's hip hop started to evolve.
That sounds like the same kind of stories I hear when I read like B.B. King's autobiography and like other musicians in different genres. It was all evolving at the same time.
But
there's no internet, so it wasn't homogenized or anything. It wasn't connected. It was all, they were like, we're inventing shit right now.
Yeah, one person saw something dope.
And that's why I think, and especially me and my bandmates, where we came from was rock, or rap is crap. You know, rap is not music because they're not singing. And that was like kind of not like drilled into my head, but that was just what it was. Yeah. It was like, we're guitar, we do music, la 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 la. And so it took a lot to break through that, unfortunately. But once it did, what it was is I had to go back and relearn. So stuff like that is super exciting because it's the same shit. It's the same story, but different people in different ways, evolving in different.
And that's why I think it's important for people to have like prolific lyrics. Like it doesn't have to be about something like, you know, like political, whatever. Just put energy into what you're doing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be preachy. Like a lot of shit is preachy, and it's just like I don't care about what I should be doing. Just tell me what's up with you.
What makes a quality lyric?
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, okay, if I was going to like something I was riding around and cruising, just listening to. If you listen to like Lil Wayne, the effort he puts into it, even though he puts very little effort into his process of recording, his thought process, his thought pattern of what he's being able to create, the metaphors that he's able to put together one after another, after another, after another. You're like, oh my God, this dude's a genius. If I want to listen to someone that's complex and like their patterns, I'm gonna put on Tech Nine and the whole Strange Music dialogue because they're hitting patterns that no one else is even bothering to do.
Dude,
right?
That's what I'm in. I was talking about that, and somebody who's criticism, internet people, doesn't really count, but they were just like, there's more to rap than just the patterns and the technicals. I'm like, okay, but that's what I'm interested in right now. Don't try to get me off the genre.
No,
keep me in, suck me in.
Are you arguing against me or with me?
Dude,
like, what
some people do feel like their genre is theirs and it's for them. And I get that. I totally get that, especially when I'm honest about how I felt about it in the past. It's like I hated rap, but I didn't have a choice. I was 14. I had autonomy. I'm playing guitar. I'm just seeing the thing. You know, it takes a lot for people to change their mind.
Yeah,
and mainly just give it a listen.
Well, I think like rap rock. Rap rock had its day. And I think what got me interested was Deftones, the Adrenaline album. Yeah. So, he does a little bit of rapping, so where it's like hardcore and rap and shit like that. And I was just like, that like 12-year-old me is like, this is fucking this is the shit.
It gives you something to hook on to.
And then I heard about Rage because I went from Green Day, Offspring, and then once I got past Offspring, it was like all bets were off. I got into everything, and once Rage like got in my blood, I was like, this is where it's at. Like, I'm not necessarily a fan of like the musicians in the band like completely. I got like a couple of them, but just the band collective, man. God damn, like
absolutely.
Sometimes you get political.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say politics. I just talk about the history of what I known as like my family lineage and struggle. And the things that I reach from like my historical background that gives me power. I don't try to use it as a victim mindset. I try to use it as a way to recognize what was sacrificed, where you're at, and do something about it, So to me, it has nothing to do with politics. It just has to do with who I am and my journey. And like, because I don't know anything about politics, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just have.
So if anyone sees politics, they're projecting it on from their own beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about the politics to me because I don't know the games they play, and I know it's a very wise game they play.
Yeah, I've heard of some of the games. I'm not going to hold up.
Yeah, I know. Like it's too much.
I'm not going to hold up. One of my buddies is a super smart guy in all aspects of life, and he does politics. I don't even know. I couldn't even explain to you what he did if I wanted to. He's my best friend, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
So I just gonna talk about what I know.
Yeah, and I think that's all I try to express from there. And like bending in and out, like everything's gonna have its season. So, especially with where we're at in the world, you know what I'm saying? And like most of our stuff was written before COVID, before those whole
you guys have been going for
surge
10
of
years.
Everything, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's just like I think about people within a struggle. I try to think about where I'm fortunate at, and also try to be empathetic with people that are less fortunate. And I just try to speak from that perspective of like, okay, like I've had people like you around in my life, and I've seen them come out of that. Let me give you something of what they told me,
sure,
or perhaps something that I might know, or one of these guys might know that can lift you up. But if anything, like it's just like it's like a Rocky soundtrack. It's inspirational,
Hell yeah.
Just you got to drive, you got to push, got to go.
Dude, I feel that, and my question was gonna be, how do you find that motivation? But not only is it a tacky question, it's just sad. I feel like it's a dark way to go. What if we could go a more positive way? Not back to the Cowboys that you were moshing with, but like another recent story of a gig. Parameters. I need to give some parameters. It's hard to unless you got something.
There's Jelly Jam coming up. We did that last year. It's like this festival, a bunch of artists showcasing themselves. It's kind of it's like a outdoorsy type deal.
Yeah, they got food trucks.
I'm into food
and
trucks.
a swimming pool.
They got they do.
Pool.
They got a nice swimming pool.
Very nice swimming pool.
Yeah.
That's the shit I'm talking about. It's
So
not depressing at
year-
all.
So
That's
last
happy
year-
shit.
I got a
Bad
story
Company
for you.
Boot Camp is somebody who we did a show with, and they're kind of all over the place too when it comes to like genres and sounds.
All
But
right,
they put
yeah.
on a hell of a show, Bad Company Boot Camp. If you haven't gone to one of their shows, it's worth it, man.
Yeah?
It's a wild party. It's a
Tight.
wild party.
That sounds fun.
So last year
To
at
say the
Jelly
least.
Jam, right? My wife and I are talking like, damn, this could be like some legal liability. People are faded out here, right? It's held on private property. And then the next day, I heard this dude busted his fucking ass so bad. Like there's like the developed property, and then behind it, there's a few acres of just like they just recently cut down trees, so there's like stumps everywhere and stuff. And it's fucking pitch black out there. And this dude was just wasted. He was like he was being super annoying all fucking night.
Yeah,
so
wanted
he
to
had
go. He wanted to
That
go.
does change the story.
He fucking man,
He was one of them dudes that was like kept trying to leave, and everybody's like, "You can't drive,
Yeah.
bro." Yeah. And then
Okay.
you
He's like,
forget
"I'm gonna go
about what he
this way."
said. Yeah.
So tripping and busting his ass is
so
all
he
right.
tripped and
He
busted
didn't
his
crash.
ass bad, dude. Like,
Yeah, cracked his head open.
yep.
Dude, that's insane.
Stitches
When I say his
little
ass, I mean his head. He was kind of an ass head. So
There you go. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same difference. Something broke, probably.
yeah, man. So that's so I'm excited to see what this year holds.
Dude,
Man, I missed all that.
party
Miss me with
is what I
that.
got from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Party
yeah.
gigs.
We like the festival like style gigs, man. They're fun. They're
Yeah.
more fun. People are more loose out there for a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like we did with a Bad Decision Boot Camp. We did another one of the shows, and
It's like an offshoot of Burning Man, right?
yeah, they're like a Burning Man camp.
It was at Seattle Center. It was like
But
super
I would
It was actually a
be
fundraiser
lying
for Burning
to say it was
Oh, okay.
the worst sound.
Oh,
Fucking
I was-
horrible performance. Even though
You would or you wouldn't?
it
He would.
fucking would. That
He
was the
would.
worst
He
worst performance of my life. Period. I love the people. I love the promotion. I like what
Yeah.
they're doing. Like God bless them. But when it came to a band performance
Yikes.
and like the sound, and it wasn't us. I
Right,
know that
right,
much.
right.
It wasn't
Yeah.
us. It was a Kumite learning experience for me.
Well, one of the
sounded
artists,
nice.
Oh man, when the guy kicked out the drum set, we were in the middle of the set. No man, no.
Oh,
they had
no.
a drummer with he played. There was these ladies with these sensors on their bottoms.
No,
Yeah, this is
And
what
he
I'm
played the
getting-
butt drums.
This is what I'm
Yeah,
getting at. This is the kind of story I'm.
yeah. So you get up there.
So like I
they're-
said, the good things going on.
yeah, there's
you know?
sound
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
He just smacking asses. Bow, bow,
that's
bow.
hilarious.
Playing them skins, if you know what I'm
For
saying.
sure, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. That was kinda fun.
hilarious,
I actually missed
dude.
that though. I didn't actually see the actual show. I just saw the sound check. I don't know where I was during
Oh, I was watching.
that.
Nah, what made me the most mad is when we started performing. They started lighting titties on fire with like flammable suds. And I'm thinking in my back of my like as I'm rapping on stage, engaging with the crowd, I'm thinking to myself, how can you compare with lit titties? Like,
I know,
you
no one's
just
looking at
can't.
me.
What?
I'm like, no amount of good lyrics is getting through this.
no one's paying attention to
What
what
can
I'm
I
doing.
say?
I had a green suit on and everything. I'm like, nope, it doesn't matter because I was like 10% of my attention was drawn over there. So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I'm like, God damn it, focus. Focus. You got a job to do.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Burning Man, you know, burning folks.
Do you go to a lot of festivals? What type of festivals do you go to?
I go to 0 festivals, dude. I've probably never been to, well, let me give you my first festival, if you guys know, Creation Fest.
Never heard.
That's I probably stopped a long time ago. It's a super cheesy, lame Christian music festival that I went to with my friend because his dad was the pastor.
Yeah.
But I did talk to a girl.
Oh, yeah? Does it get wild at them Christian festivals? Be real.
No, there was nothing wild in where we were. Although, like, frat boy wild. Like, I remember that was the first time somebody tickled my nose with a feather and made me slap my own face.
Oh.
And I had rage in my heart. And then I was like, it's funny, though, but it's so hard to channel the rage.
Were the musicians good? Were they like
Yeah, it was
really
like
quick-
famous bands.
It was
POD
like a
and
dude.
It was like POD level.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out. Let's see if I can remember the name. They're still popular. I know some Christians, and they know the band. And the band's name, I'll edit in post. Perks of being the editor.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'll get it. I'll have Google later. But they were dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw Offspring at there's a Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That was
Warped
cool.
Tour.
That was cool. My festival stories were dope, but they were younger. So as I've gotten older, I've been more of a hermit, and I don't know if it's COVID or not, or double. Probably just
I think
everything.
COVID put a little bit of introvert in all of us. You know, I'm way more comfortable by myself nowadays, even though it's not that comfortable.
Sure.
But I am way more comfortable just chilling at the crib doing shit.
Well, that's
like not a
good.
damn thing.
That's good.
Which is nah, it's not good. But you know,
well, I mean,
like at least
when
I'm
I'm chilling, not
fine,
doing
you know?
anything, I'm not comfortable. I'm like
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
You know? So if you could sit and do nothing, I think that's good.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. I think it's good. I don't know
Keep
shit.
watching.
I play guitar. So, Kyle, how long have you been playing guitar, man?
So I started in 4th grade. I saw this Green Day concert. It was like
He's an early
1993.
bird.
Yeah,
That's
it was
early.
like 1993, and Green Day played this Christmas show in Chicago.
Yeah.
And my friend's older brother recorded it for us because it was like on MTV, and it was like
bootleg?
late.
Oh no, TV. Okay, yeah.
MTV, yeah. So yeah, I watched it and I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And so
I thought you were like a little kid at a Green Day concert.
I know.
Yeah,
I pictured
that
it
would've
way
been
different for a
awesome.
second. Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that, I kind of started learning. I learned how to play "When I Come Around" was like the first song I learned how to play. And then my brother had a friend named Mitch, and he taught me a couple of Nirvana songs.
Tight.
Anyway, then like I kind of played off and on, and then fast forward to like my 8th grade summer going into 9th grade. My brother took me to an AFI show at El Corazon.
Tight.
And that's what I swear to God,
That's
that's
like a real
the closest
show.
thing to a religious experience I ever had. It was
Tight.
like I knew for sure. I was like, even like at first I thought I wanted to be like on Green Day's level. I didn't understand the levels there, right? And I saw AFI. I was like, I could be on this level and be fine. Like they're touring, it's sold out everywhere, every show they have, even though they're 500 capacity clubs. I mean, shit. You did something good if people come to your shows even in your hometown.
Yeah. For real.
So then after that, I really got serious and started playing hard and like trying to actually learn, and took some lessons and stuff, like a little bit of lessons, mostly just learned chords and then just learning. There was a spell I learned a bunch of Jimmy, and then I learned a bunch of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and just kind of learning.
Chili
cool
Peppers was
shit.
the first thing I learned on guitar.
Really?
Yeah, it was like day one. I grabbed a guitar. My mom told me my uncle plays. He could teach me guitar. He didn't live in this state, but in my head, I'm like, I'm going to get the guitar. He'll come visit and teach me. I get the guitar. Immediately, I'm like, I got to learn it right now. I have this acoustic guitar, brand new. Wasn't even my birthday. My mom just was like, yeah, we'll get it for you, which was so out of character,
Crazy.
off-brand.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like, not even Christmas. It's like, I just get a guitar. So
Get a guitar.
I started learning Under the Bridge. And for those of you who know, it's not easy. I didn't learn it good. I didn't play it well. even in the D, the C chord shape as a D. But I didn't have the knowledge I have now, knowing that was a C moved up a whole step. I just was like, this is guitar. Everything's so hard. And it was like 3 weeks later before I learned Limp Bizkit's cover of
Faith.
Behind Blue Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was my first chord experience.
Yeah, that's a good
G,
that's a good one.
E minor, maybe a C in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Get the fuck up. Durst, dude.
Yeah.
That's faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he
Oh,
says.
Faith, he says it in that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I learned that too. A chord. Yeah.
A chord.
So shout out to Fred Durst and the guys for teaching me my basic chord shapes.
I learned drop D from Deftones. I was like,
Yep,
how
drop
does he
D.
get it so low? And my best friend, I was talking about it earlier. He's like,
So scary to mess with the tuner, though.
Yep.
Yeah. Someone else has to come in and do it for you
Yep.
at first.
Yep.
Hell yeah. No, that's tight. Let's move over to bass.
All right, what's up?
Let's go. When did you first know you wanted to play bass guitar?
Oh, it's kind of a last resort, to be honest. I mean, no one really starts.
That's
No, I'm just kidding. I love playing
Funniest,
bass.
did you lean into that so much harder than like some bass players kind of have a joke, but that was the best one.
No,
was
so
really
I started playing guitar around 12, right? So
Okay.
which was back in the early 90s too. I'm a little bit older than everybody here,
Sure.
but
More established.
a little more established,
Seniority.
a little, yeah.
Distinguished.
Distinguished.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no. So I started playing guitar when I was 12. Probably played for basically into my 20s, and I started kicking it with a bunch of people who like playing music. It was basically my best friend at the time. Had a bunch of musician friends. He was big into it, so we just kind of jammed for years
yeah.
and years. And then bass player is kind of what they needed. And I hate 6 strings. I prefer 4 or 5
There you go.
tops.
5
So
tops.
yeah, so I've been playing bass. Shoot, I've been playing with Shala for a very long time.
Really?
Like, yeah.
That's what you were
Since
saying,
like
yeah.
2008. We're old.
Oh,
yeah.
damn, dude, you guys go back.
A little bit longer, a little bit later on, I started playing with these guys. But yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it's been the journey.
And you got a SoundCloud. You got Dan's Wandu.
Oh
That's what
yeah, I
it's
make
called?
my own beats,
Plug, yeah,
and they're
plug
weird.
it up.
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
He builds a lot of inspiration for some of the tracks that we create too.
Our newer
So,
songs
yeah.
and stuff are a lot of heavy Dan inspiration.
Shala also does a lot of the backing tracks for some of our stuff.
Right on.
Yeah, but yeah, MIDI. I'm like punching in notes with my mouse. I
Yeah,
should just
yeah, yeah.
get on the keys and just play it, but I'm like, oh, it's easier if I click it with
I
my
get
mouse.
it. Yeah. I
so-
bought that Ableton push pad, which was so fun. It's all the buttons and stuff, but I haven't plugged it in so long. I just been
Yeah.
mousing everything. Back to old habits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel it. That's cool. Do you guys all make music on the side, or just dance?
A little bit. Y'all kind
You know,
of
do a little dabbling.
Yeah, I got
It's kind of like what's left over that
Sure.
doesn't fit the band.
Yes, I got a lot of those.
So what kind of style of stuff wouldn't fit a band that has so many different?
I would say like mid tempo, like boop da boop da boop da, like a kind of like a.
That is or isn't your sound.
That's not really something that would work.
Ooh,
So
Ricky,
anything
you so
in that,
fine, you
like-
so fine, you blew my
Yeah.
mind. No, no.
Anytime.
Yeah,
You're familiar with Voltron,
Mickey.
right?
Yeah, Voltron.
You're familiar with Voltron,
the
right?
Character.
There's like the lions make up the legs and the arms. Like
Oh,
together
yeah,
we all
yeah.
come up and make Kumite, but then we do other things like I'm gonna do
Yeah.
blue lion stuff. He's gonna do green lion stuff. He's gonna do red lion
Dude, I
stuff.
didn't
You know what I'm
realize
saying?
that's who Voltron was. Hella no Voltron. I thought Voltron was the motorbikes and there's the light behind them.
That's Tron.
Tron.
That's
yeah.
Tron.
Easy mistake.
yeah.
Right.
Easy
I was
mistake.
like, oh,
I'm
shit,
still an
is that
idiot.
Voltron?
I'm not
Is
trying to back
that-
up.
you're halfway
I'm an
there, right?
idiot.
Sci-fi is a huge Kumite inspiration.
Big
Yeah,
time.
what's the
Yeah,
name?
so-
Where's the name come from again? I think I missed it.
Nitty, you want to get that?
That
You
Big
wanna
Crit lyric. So Shala was inspired by a Big Crit lyric. If you know Big Crit, he's a Mississippi rapper. And he has a line, "Pimpin' is a blood sport. I kick it like a Kumite." And then we all know blood sport from the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Kumite, Kumite.
Oh, that's yeah.
So that's where a lot of people know it from. But it's pretty much just like the daily struggle. Like what you were talking about online, people like hating what you do and like not liking your type of music. It's kind of just like in all of us. Because how do we get past that and just get to what's fun and get back to dancing? And this is like the fuel to get you past the
Dude,
bullshit.
That's a great name for a band. First of all, yes, but like just like a statement. What's it called? A personal statement. What do they call that? Like a business has like
yeah.
Mission statement.
mission
statement.
statement.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
that's
there
like
you go.
a one-word mission statement. Like at least the way you explained it, because that is hard in life. Like the ego's floating around in the daytime. At night, sometimes in your meditations, you can get to where like, or at least for me at night, usually is when I'm at my most zen. I'm
Right.
like, oh, I'm definitely no better than anyone else. And I'm definitely no shittier than anyone else. And that one took me longer.
And why am I holding on to this bullshit that somebody else is? Let me just drop this shit off.
Yeah, let me take
And
a
just-
break from it for a while. And I
Dude,
wish I could
yeah.
be there quicker. Like if there was a quicker way to get there, and I'm sure there is.
You just need Kumite in the headphones.
Just
dude.
right, baby.
That's all.
Just click this
Get out
link
there.
that I'll put right here on
Yeah,
the screen. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And like, I don't know. I feel like when we come together, we're all coming with different styles. Like he's a little more rock. He's a little more technically inclined. He's kind of like the secret weapon. Shala, of course, is the rhyme sayer. And then Me personally, I come from like an African drum background. My parents are super hippy dippy from the Bay Area.
Tight.
And so like I grew up in like African dance troops and drum circles on the beach
No
and stuff
shit.
like that. Like super Zen centers and Buddhist monks and shit like that. Just like that life, you know.
This is like
So-
episode 63, I believe. This is like the first serious drummer we've had on the show, dude. He's got hippie action.
but like
drum
super
circles.
hippy dippy, like
Dude, that's
super
legit.
hippy dippy. So it's like I can't help but bring a lot of that to my
Right.
beats too. So that's like the little flair that we all have, that we all kind of bring together.
Well, your dad's a professional drummer, right?
Yeah, he's been drumming for a long time, for like 40 years, 60 years, baby. He's got the Real Thing Band, the Real Thang Band
Real
down
Thang.
in the Bay Area. Mixed Nuts. He's got several
hell yeah.
bands, but then
That's a
I.
good name. That's a great name.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Does he also have a job making band names? Because I'm hired.
But
it's dope.
he's kind of like Kyle's position. He kind of gets the gigs, you know, like he's like
Sure.
a good businessman like that. But also the Sound Junkies, Def Hef, Marky Basie. I don't know if you heard of him, but like these are all people that influenced me and I kind of grew up with in the Bay Area, and they still make music down there. Def Hef, especially down in LA. Rob's Alien in the Bay. So that's just who I've made music with and who I still make music with sometimes on the side. They can encourage me to do it, but I know I'm just comfortable behind the drums.
Right.
But yeah.
Do you do it full time or do you have a day gig not related to drums?
Oh yeah, man, I have a regular job. I have a 9 to 5.
What do you do?
Oh, I just
He's like, he's like hippie
I'm a
circles.
manager
Hippie
at a
circles.
sporting goods
Oh,
place.
that's tight, though. That's cool. That's cool.
Dude, yeah, just like, you know.
These are good questions because the people watching are either musicians probably or people who don't know what it's like. And it's like, hey, we all have to have other gigs.
Definitely got it. He works in the
It's so
schools.
hard.
He works with computers. He
Nice.
works in telephone stuff. Like we all have day stuff.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That
And-
makes it work.
Yeah, and keeps like, you know, like the band rent, or, you know, like keeps us a studio.
Yeah,
and
because
like,
you guys don't live nearby, so you have a practice space that's kind of somewhere in the middle, or
Shout out to Dave
closer-
West.
Well,
Rock Rooms.
yeah, so
These two guys.
we
Dave
all,
West
us three
sounds
live in
tight.
Seattle. His girlfriend lives in Spokane, well, Cheney area, so
Sure.
he jumps back and forth between
Gotcha.
that. So yeah, he lives in West
Yeah.
Seattle. I live in
Yeah.
Queen Anne. He lives kind of like in North Seattle. So we have a practice space that's in Ballard-ish area.
oh, right on. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's pretty centralized, except for Dan, unfortunately.
Whatever. I don't mind driving.
Yeah. Sometimes the drive to work, right? And I like
Well,
a good,
you know,
good
talking
commute.
about being extrovert, introvert, I get to be an introvert. So
Exactly.
It's nice.
Put on
It's
a
real nice.
podcast or listen to some of the songs that you need to,
Yeah.
get fresh, get ready. I like
Or
a
try
good
working
drive.
on beats while driving.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
I wouldn't
I
recommend
wonder
that.
why
Don't
how
try
he
this
like
at home,
bust them
folks.
out so fast.
Yeah, he has to be doing
On the way
that.
over.
I can literally hotspot and just like drive and click in my mouse.
That's
No,
awesome.
I don't do that.
He probably does do that. I wouldn't run
Only
Yeah,
twice.
that means that he
Alright.
does.
He's thought about it. If he said it, he's thought about it. No. I just had a train of thought and it's gone, but that's okay.
Choo choo.
I'm the editor, so if I look weird, I could just make it so I look cool.
The power of dank.
Yeah, for real. It's like a serious moving train. If you lose it, it's gone. It's gone. Oh, nope, it's gone. So, day jobs. I got it. How often do you practice?
twice a week.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's a lot.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then sometimes we have shows on Friday, Saturday. Sometimes we have shows.
So you guys are
Saturday, Sunday.
full, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you guys have families? Do anybody have wife and kids or
Wives,
significant
no
other?
kids.
Wives.
That's a full schedule. Those three things. I don't know how do you juggle those three things, dude?
Yeah,
Family
it's-
time, real job. Because I don't have real job. I just do all music jobs. But
Yeah.
it's like
That's what's
a
up.
lot of music jobs, and it's barely, so it might be a
Yeah.
better idea to do what you guys are doing. I don't know.
I mean, you can burn out real fast, man.
Yeah.
Like I work in a public school, so I love my kids. Huh?
Right.
But man, god damn, 9th and 10th graders can burn you out.
Oh, no,
You know,
yeah.
especially when you have to be the one involved with what they do day by day.
Yeah.
The challenges at home versus their how well they're accelerating in the classroom. And where you have to be, like you can't, like I can never go to work hungover. You know what I'm saying? Not
Right,
even
right.
a little
It'd be
bit.
so
Otherwise,
impossible.
I'll have a student be like, nigga, you look hungover. Like,
that reminds me of that School of Rock
class.
with Jack Black. And
Yeah.
like, who knows what a hangover is? The kid's like, it means you're drunk. No, I was drunk yesterday.
Dude, you have a disease.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like, I don't know, it makes you accountable in that sense, you know?
Yeah.
But which ultimately
That's a good
helps
thing.
out when it comes to making music and stuff like that.
It'll keep you healthier in that one example.
Yeah,
Keep you from
physically
drinking.
healthier, mentally.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Working remote's kind of nice too. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
the best.
They
I'm
can't
never
see
going
my
back.
face, so.
Tell me about working remote. Yeah.
Is
it-
shoot,
is
now
it
I'm
as
going to
good as
incriminate
it-
myself. No, it's.
I know, right? I'll change your voice and
yeah, I'm
and
in
hide
like
your face.
I'm in like telecommunications, so I'm
Yeah.
like kind of building cell phones, certain major carriers infrastructure.
and you
I
do your
kinda go
job?
up.
And you do it good?
Good enough.
I'm giving you a chance.
They
right here.
seem to be
And
liking
you're an
me. They
amazing
like me.
employee,
I think
so
I'm,
everything's
I think
good.
I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing all right. There's always room for improvement. Yeah,
No, I
room
love
for
that.
improvement.
I respect it. No, that's cool. Because it is like some people who don't have the side music thing, they have to take their telecommunications job or their teach. That's their identity.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I don't know, like being too musician is tough, but being too anything else would be worse. I feel like.
I mean,
like I'm okay with being too music, you know.
I'm trying to always incorporate the things that I love to do in the classroom. So like I have podcasting with my students, I have beat making with my students. Like we do art, we do sculpture, we do painting, we do digital stuff. Like I'm always figuring out, okay, I know I've been through the school process and I know I hated the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But if I had
Yeah.
these, if I was in
You can make it
school,
better.
I might have liked it a little bit more.
For sure.
Or I'll talk to a DJ of mine, my homie Sing, shout out. DJs all around the city, makes really good money off of doing it. I'm like, how'd you
Tight.
start it? He's like,
Yeah.
I had a high school project. So I was like, all right, that's all I need to know that seeds can be planted
Right.
where I'm from.
Some people don't know DJs you can be a DJ. You don't have to be freaking the most famous DJ. You could go be a DJ and make money.
and make good
And
money.
they make money, dude.
I
Yeah,
should be
absolutely.
a DJ. I feel like I need to go back and DJ.
We should all
And
take
they're
a deep
always
look
like
at
50.
ourselves. And
Yeah,
You're always
right?
like
I'm in
50
the
years
wrong
old every
business.
time, I swear.
Yeah.
You're like at a club or a rave or something. You're like, man, that guy's way older than me. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were in Vegas last week, and he's like,
I just remember that.
they have like a couple DJs of like Steve Aoki and stuff like a
Yeah,
on
yeah,
MGM.
yeah.
And Dad's like, you ever notice the DJs are like super old? He
Every
was like,
time,
it
I
gives me
swear.
hope. Maybe like when I'm in my 50s, I can still be famous.
dude.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Could.
fucking hilarious.
You definitely could.
So I want to backtrack. You said school sucked for you.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Tell me about that, because same.
Oh man, I grew up in the South, and not like the cool South that you see on TV and shit like that. I don't even know if the South is considered cool anymore on TV.
They don't even show the cool South anymore.
No, they don't. I grew up in a town called Lakeland, and shout out Lakeland. I love the people I grew around. I love my friends, but we had a very bitter upbringing with the mentality that we were brought up with. I was surrounded by all sorts of weird shit, you know,
Really?
like different styles of racist shit, you know, where you
like-
see like rednecks with like rebel flags in the back window, like big tires, but they have rims and they have sound systems bumping Little John.
Yeah,
you know, it's
different-
like shit's confused.
Oh my god,
You know what I'm
cognitive
saying?
dissonant kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
Dude, what's that thing that never mind, just keep going. I'm not gonna be able to remember it.
But yeah, I mean, it trained me it made me understand different perspectives of the way people live or how they live and their upbringing, you know, just from growing up like that. And then moving out here when I mean equal opposite, it's a whole different cup of tea, right?
Right.
It's tea to coffee almost. People were a little bit more open-minded, but yet introverted, right? And so I had to learn how to kind of break through that shell and get to know people by using some of the charisma that I had to grow up with in order to include myself in certain areas, because my big black ass couldn't always be in certain areas,
Right,
you know?
right.
Like I was in one of those areas where it's like, okay, there's certain things going on across the street that I just can't be a part of,
Right.
and I just had to accept that. But I knew that it was wrong always, and I knew it wasn't right. And I knew there were people out there that didn't have that mindset, because I also had friends that didn't think like them, that looked
Right.
like them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it gave me perspective on the individual, people, not bunching people in groups and judging them for who they are, and just listening to the one-on-one, you know?
That's tough. That's
Yeah.
good skill building.
Yeah, it's a
Kumite.
lot of soul searching. a lot of soul searching.
and so you're saying school, it infested into your school life.
Oh yeah, because it was, if I didn't act a certain way, I've always been like an annoying, articulate individual. You know, I've always that's the way my mama raised me. And most like dudes that you meet like me in the South are going to be very different than me, because you have to build up. I guess they use it as a defense mechanism, you know, to talk a certain way, to dress a certain way. Otherwise, people will think you soft. So, like, I naturally trained myself really well in, like, you know, combat and stuff like that, because I wanted to be able who I wanted to be without worrying about someone putting me in a position to where I couldn't express myself.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, and another reason for the Kumite and what that represents is you're in a form pushing yourself beyond the capability you can in order to see your true self, you know?
Self-reliance, self-trust.
Yeah.
Bringing, like, what you got to the table. Like, we always try to welcome in other musicians, and basically we're just like, all right, your instrument is like your martial art. Bring it in. Right. And if you want to,
some people learn martial arts to beat people up.
Yeah.
You're learning martial arts because of the martial art.
Yeah.
It's the same with music. Some guys are playing guitar to get laid, and you know, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same because no one's getting beaten up or whatever. But maybe it is, you know, if they're wielding their power in a negative fashion, you know, if they're hurting people emotionally. But if you're just using it to get laid, I don't really have anything against you. But that's definitely not me. I'd like to sit at home and practice jazz. So
it's
I never used it as a crutch.
Expression. It's like anything else. Like I believe, like, what was the saying? It's like, I always wanted to be the sharpest sword in the room that never had to come unsheathed. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the coolest dude in the room.
That is cool.
You know what I'm saying? That dude that you know is that badass, but he can go around like almost the way you like describe E40. Like he's like almost flirtatious with everybody. He can make anybody smile and laugh, but at the snap of the fingers, you're done. You know what I'm saying? I think that's power and energy behind that. And I've always looked up to that, people that have that. Yeah. So that's what I strive to be more like.
Tight, dude. Yeah. That's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of morsels of goodness in this interview or this hangout or whatever you want to call it.
Thank you. But
I'm glad you guys came. You guys make sure and check out, there's going to be a link somewhere of their performance. We're going to get set up for that here in a second. Are there any final words? Anything you want to tell to young musicians out there looking to make a living, looking to make something happen?
It's possible.
Yeah,
we can all do it.
We got some ideas right here on the couch.
Like, seriously, bands come and go. As long as you keep playing, dude, you're gonna do all right. I mean, whatever that means. Like, be real with it. Be real with yourself. Don't put out shit that you think people want to hear. Put out shit you want to put out.
Think about how much you love hearing new music. You could be that music. Make it.
Don't forget. Kumite.
I would also say, don't forget to be your goddamn self. That's what I'd say.
That's a good way to say it, too. Because be yourself is like, how am I supposed to? But don't forget. It's because that's when you need that advice.
Yeah.
Is when I'm thinking too much about what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And right now when I'm talking, I told you guys to talk, but now I'm talking. I've already fallen for it. But I'll cut this out and edit it. The editor will handle that. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, cool.
And that your story is interesting. People want to hear original stories. Everybody's got an original story. It's more interesting than you probably think.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I loved having you guys on. Hope to have you back in a year or so.
Absolutely. I
always figure we'll touch bases, and I would like to share all you guys' shows on our page and all that stuff. Build some sort of community, chat with you guys, and do it again.
That'd be great.
Right on, dude. Let's set this show up.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Let's get to it.
Yeah. What's good, America? Podcast, all that good shit.
BandHouse Studios.
BandHouse Studios. Yes, we are Kumite. We're here to rock your socks off, melt your faces, and get your balls tingling in some dope-ass music that we're going to perform for you. So, I am Prophecy, your host, and without further ado, let's get it, boss.
Drums echo outside, the war cry of the Lord's tribe. The essence of a past life chastised. A culture ripping meaning and casting it sad to a history they would happily lie. Cannot the plot, have to revise. See the psychological side, see the seed planted in death and disease. Dynasty replaces shackles of force dream. Force at the temperance night scream. Sadistic sights of frightening, hitting hearts like streets of lightning. Reminding what will happen for running to hiding. No haven from here to heaven without a fighting force to fall in line with flesh drip from your back for falling out of line. You're physically dying, lungs can't pull, no air to breathe. Working till your spine starts to cease. Rip rich like the black bolt that you see. Where the Confederate chief, a false belief is prophecy. Listen to you, really get down to the minuscule. About something physical is more than pitiful. I renounce reciting tribal mindful. My soul revival lift the spirits higher than high gold. Away from trifle rifles, the disrespectful and the spiteful. For all the fake you title, holding you down to drown, pulling friends right beside you. So I'm bound to sound humble, separate myself from prideful. So I had to do it. I know I win was like purple. Spitting haiku sweeter than haikus, and yes, I too had that about you. Not to make that right move, so decide to do what most cats even had the mind to. Let's be my own legacy, some melodies I'm better than the minds heavily from jealousy to jeopardy. If there is you embellish it, can I just let it be so verbally? My weapon is seven minds steadily, I'm gone. Yo, Crazy McCormick, get on this shit. Nenny, pick it up on this. Let's go. Come on. Yo, what's good? This one's Chrysalis for you. Let's bless these airwaves. Woke up from your ignorance. I'm looking like what year is this? See, is y'all really serious? But now I see clear as this. Yes, I'm focused but furious. You know what you're witnessing. I say this is my excellence. Broke from the chrysalis. Woke from your ignorance. I'm looking like what year is this? See, is y'all really serious? But now I see clear as shit. Yes, I'm focused but furious. You know what you're witnessing. I got perfect placement on this pavement. Came with anguish, stained with hatred. I followed those clays of enslavement. Lost in the matrix, no longer complacent. Unplugged, became the chosen one. I made this my haven, you're safe in my sanctum. The time is coming, pale the beat, the spells rise up. Word from me made hell. I swear, we dwell not but yet. Move in the sky with passion, compile compassion. Innovate an asset to use this tool to confront the fools. Just quiet ain't grass and the BS is happening. On the scale of the masses, I'm masking. Cause the lie to the land is gritty, some bad shit. Blasphemous. More black to this, asterisk, no coming back from this. Broke from the chrysalis, woke up from your ignorance. I'm looking like what year is this? Is y'all fucking serious? But now I see clear as shit. Yeah, I'm focused but furious. You know what you witness. I say this is my excellence. Broke from the chrysalis, woke up from your ignorance. I'm looking like what year it is. Is y'all fucking serious? But now I see clearances. Yes, I'm focused but furious. You know what you witness. Cause my tongue twisted, tied and tangled. I'm done, I'm tried, I'm tired and angry. The time it took comparing countless strangers of perspective that pose a different angle. As if my skin poses a different danger. For all for the angels searching for a way back home. What's the land of the clone, the land of Rome? It's a land of Rome, wage and grown. Wage of peace in a war zone. We're routing fleets we won't be on. Carbon bricks applied to stone. All my commandments a testament to represent what is testament. Cause no matter how much grief I get, I bless it with benevolence. Either my word to win. On my clench of fist, Kumite takes the extended limb. A katana that my soul live within like hosts. Kumite! Woke up from your ignorance. I'm looking like what year is this? See, y'all fucking serious? But now y'all see clear as shit. Yeah, I'm focused for furious. You know what you're witnessing? I say this is my excellence. Broke from the chrysalis. Woke up from your ignorance. I'm looking like what year is this? Yeah, y'all fucking serious? But now y'all see clear as this. Yeah, I'm focused for furious. You know what you're witnessing? I say this is my excellence. I say this is my excellence. Yes, this is black excellence. From the turn of the tide to the day that I died to the fucking death of it. Kumite's excellence. Prophecy's death away. Kumite. Yeah. I catch your soul too sick. Try to take time to reminisce. Cause even in the presence of bliss, death's still as close as a kiss. Reminding how easy it is to become was rather than is. Then a voice said, you wanna live hands on his hip, and it was pistol grip. I respond, please just walk away. Guaranteed today is not your day. And that was hard to say what called you late, but whatever called you play, you ain't ready for the ace, tucked away like It's a hard road, so please understand this. Revenge is cold, cause it's served with patience. You gotta be the man, then don't take shit. Even if life gotta get taken. It's a hard road, so please understand this. Revenge is cold, cause it's served with patience. You gotta be the man, then don't take shit. So I looked at her, I told him. The first one's a warning, the second one I would leave all doubt. The second one's a crimson moon, black and sky out. He replied, you don't remember that night, huh? I guess it's been about 9 years now. All the kids started with a gun bout. In and on a different route, I found my own chest, better with a knife. You in the hindsight, blood dripping with your hand on the right side. On gas staring in my eyes wide. Before one died, he said, avenge your life. Nah, motherfucker, now I'm here to make you pay the price. He reached for a side, a squeeze and reply, a wheeze and a cry, but both in his high. He dropped to his knees and he tries to speak one more time. I rebuttal just in time, I say, death is a funny thing. As set up as a rain and permanent like ink on this page. All it does is permeate pain. I know I'm cursed to the same. Cause all these life taken in vain. I've broken my mind, driven me insane. But every soul that's taken in vain will hold me to the day that someone will put me in a grave with a bang. So please understand this. Revenge is cold cause it's served with patience. You gotta be the man, then don't take shit. Even if blast, you gotta get taken. It's a hard road, so please understand this. Revenge is cold, cause it's served with patience. You gotta be the man then don't take shit. Get up your life, gotta get taken. Oh yeah. Let's go. Kumite. You see where these kids at, and it's pitch black when your skin's black, and the cop sees a respect when they're trying to judge wrist rap black bitch back. Watch out. Them able to shoot to kill, I shoot to kill, they shoot to. You see where these kids at, and it's pitch black while your skin is black, and the cop sees a respect when they're trying to judge wrist rap black bitch back. Watch out, them able to shoot to kill, I shoot to kill, they shoot to say. Running and nipping, ain't no falling, no slipping. Turf gripping, sweat dripping, preventing, cuffs clenching. To stop now is senseless, too far now up in this never-ending existence that my life is living. But the judge can sentence with no witnesses, not to mention that cops can't lynch them if they can't catch them. So I'm going like ready, step bang. It's the way we learn a weapon, pop by a weapon they claim was for protection. Cause you see where these kids at, and it's pitch black where your skin's black, and the cop sees a risk fact when they're trying to judge wrist rap black bitch back. Watch out. Them able to shoot to kill, they shoot to kill, they shoot to. You see where these kids at, and it's pitch black when your skin is black, and the cop sees a risk fact when they try to judge wrist rap black bitch back. Watch out, them able to shoot to kill, I shoot to kill, they shoot to. I see about what these pigs about, what the bees about, it's a joke, nigga. Just hear me out, they can't account for kids without provokes, niggas to shoot without warning about a different route. Now you call killers, bomb blocks out any form of doubt. The beast comes out, don't fuck with us. We protect our own, we protect the zone. So the real estate twitches is over. All black who own home, quarantine neighborhood where all resources are blown. The birth of Jim Crow ghettos are formed. Some are young, walk the block searching for more. But the cops are poachers in this concrete jungle of carnivores. They see a young black's his trophy, so they call the arms of war. So my right to fight has a good repertoire. It's what I'm still here for, goddamn. Your skin's black and the cop sees a respect when they trying to wrist rap black bitch back. Watch out, them straight when they shoot to kill, they shoot to kill, they shoot to. You see where these kids at, and it's pitch black when your skin is black and the cop sees a respect when they trying to just wrist rap black bitch back. Watch out, them straight when they shoot to kill, they shoot to kill, they shoot to get ya. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.